Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless 8, and now we're going to quickly look at the Dow Jones Industrial Futures and also gold and copper. So let's start off with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It closed at 16,606 on Friday evening. The futures are indicating up roughly 43 points right now at 16,629. Okay, so 43, so basically give or take about 20 points um, would be um, would be the real Dow Jones opening right now. Okay, the real Dow Jones opening right now would be 16,650. Right now it's 16,629 on the futures. Okay, so the differential is 21 points. Call it call it about 20 points. 20 points higher for the actual Dow Jones Industrial Average from this level. So let's take a look at the weekly chart here, giving everyone an idea where we might be heading this week. All right. Um, Keep in mind we're coming into the close of a pretty strong month for the year. We are still looking at a pretty flat market um, year to date, and so we still have much more room to move. Let's just put it this way. So Dow Jones Industrial Average high is 16,694 on the futures. We are at 16,627. I think we eclipsed that. Okay. So looking at this here, this auto trigger, the green arrow. Last time these type of green arrows appeared, aside from here, generally in this type of scenario, we have roughly about 3 more weeks of a run, which kind of makes sense because it brings us into mid-June or so. So same thing here, one, two, and then third week, and then we peaked. So there are obviously what should I say, variations. You can see here it was 1 week straight up candle, but that preceded 3 full weeks of massive moves. So time for a pullback. This one resembles more the move here. Okay, because it's coming off after retesting some important levels here. Same thing here. So the Dow Jones upper Bollinger on the weekly 17,144. Everyone can clearly see that. Up here, lower mid Bollinger is 16,223. We kind of tested that close to it. Lower Bollinger is the uptrend line. No magic, right? Technicals do work. This uptrend line all the way from October of 2011. The uptrend line is at what the lower Bollinger is, which is around 15,350. Okay. At one point, we're going to test this. I have no doubt about it. So, and it's very healthy if it happens. It's probably going to happen in the latter third quarter of this year. So what we're seeing here is a breakout. Once we take this out, I expect the Dow Jones to make a new high. I don't have an exact figure for everyone, but I would assume it's going to be somewhere around, it could be around 17,000, just for a round number. Okay. Internals are getting overbought, but they're still, the line is still gapping open. So we still have room to move. McClellan oscillator is telling us that we are far from overbought. McClellan gets overbought around 180, 178. Extreme overbought is normally around 287. You can see it here, see it here. So we are basically at 16.4. Do the math. We have much more room to move. I think we can move up towards this 170 level once we get towards that 17,000 level on the Dow. So regardless of all the negativity and everything that you hear out there, the market has a mind of its own and it wants to go higher at these levels, technically speaking. However, things can change dramatically, as we all very well know. And if we break below, these are the levels you point out. If we break below 16,300 and then 16,250, then we are going to come below 16,000 and possibly retest 15,400, which should be roughly 1,200 points from where we are right now. It's going to seem like as ugly as it gets, like doomsday, like, you name it, you turn the TV on and everything's on fire. But the reality is it still keeps that huge uptrend line intact and the Bollingers from 10,328. Hopefully we'll be on the right side of the trade and shorting the heck out of the market by that time when that happens. But nothing is ever that easy, and it's not going to happen in one day. It's a weekly chart I'm showing you here. So saying all that, keep in mind that this line here, this orange line, very important. The 34-week moving average has held consistently, or whenever we've slipped below that, we've had a reversal candle, and reversal candle off this 50-week moving average. So keep these lines in mind. So the levels I'll give you is 15,800 for the futures. That would translate into 16,000 for the Dow. I'm sorry, 15,800 would be 15,820. Just add about 20 more points to these levels to find the real level for the Dow. So this level would be 16,100. So it'll be 16,180 for the Dow. Okay. So looks higher for now. Let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. I'll give a quick look at gold futures. Okay, gold futures. So here's the gold futures here. This is the weekly chart, okay? Broad swath of a channel from 1600, around 1600 down to here, down to slightly below 1100. So far so good. Gold is basically moving within a Bollinger here, okay? There are two ways to look at this. If you look at this chart quickly, it's going to say, hey, we're coming down. We're coming down, testing the lower Bollinger at 1207, and then here. But not quite, because this is where the internal divergences come into play. If you look at the internals, and it's very simple stochastics you have to look at, you're going to see that it's starting to turn, similar to here, similar to here. So what we're going to start to see, I think, we're going to basically find support here at this 1265 on the gold futures, and basically move up towards the 1390.95 level. So I think we're heading back to it. But the probability bias tells me, skew tells me that we're going to go towards 1400 on the gold futures. Okay. And what does that translate into actual gold? Let me see. GLD is 124.51. I'm just going to stick to the futures. I'm not a big gold bug, so you guys figure out what the levels are. Look it up. So this looks like it wants to go up this way. If it comes down, we have support at 1210. My gut tells me that given the internal divergences in play, it's going to go more towards the 1400 level. And that kind of coincides with what's happening with this European quantitative easing bailout mechanism programs and all kinds of stuff that Mr. Draghi will be implementing, and we'll find out more details around the first week in June. Okay, because that would obviously be an inflationary move, liquefy the European economies, devalue the currencies, as we've seen with the euro over the past couple of weeks. So that would mean that gold would probably be moving up a little bit. So that kind of makes sense. But and of course, any global turmoil, puts gold up there. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So gold looks like it's going to go towards about 1400. Worst case scenario, it comes down another 40 points, another 90 points towards 1209. But keep in mind, sometimes I play the options on the calls and the puts on the Nugget, NUGT. I'll